Welcome to the channel for you.
Properly is definitely not so. At the other end of the scale of physical difficulty is the Vrishika asana, or scorpion pose, as illustrated on the next page. Achieving this successfully is obviously difficult for anyone who is not extremely fit, strong and flexible, and this pose therefore demonstrates why yoga is such a great form of exercise. 25 Of course, this is an extremely demanding pose, one that you would probably not recommend to your grandmother without a great deal of practice, if at all. On the other hand, there are a great number of asanas and not all of them are as difficult as becoming a scorpion. Even these easier poses are beneficial, and each one represents a tremendous way of increasing your bodily flexibility and suppleness through exercise. For instance, the benefits of adopting the Ardha Chandra asana, the half-moon pose, are principally felt in the lower back, chest and abdomen. While the Trikona asana, the triangle pose, is great for stimulating blood flow throughout the body, especially to the head. It also assists your general physical condition by stretching and relaxing your shoulders, back, arms and legs, so the benefits are tremendous in comparison to the amount of effort and energy being expended. You can see a full list and diagrams of all the asanas in action. Here the bottom line is that yoga is great exercise, but it can quickly become a way of life that will help you on both a physical and a mental level, so try it. 26 Unusual exercises you've never thought of as suggested earlier. Focusing on toning your body is every bit as important as burning off energy through aerobic exercise. There are, however, various parts of the body that most of us never really consider as needing exercise. The whole of your body needs exercise if the various parts of you are going to remain in tip-top condition. In this section, I am going to look at some of the most often neglected bodily parts, and how you can exercise them utilizing simple, straightforward everyday activities. Exercising your face is almost certainly a part of your body that you have never considered exercising. But it does need it, especially as you want to open up your features, remove the lines from your skin and give yourself a clearer and younger looking expression. Exercising your face is all about using the facial muscles that you use the least in your everyday life, because this strengthens these muscles and therefore your face becomes more flexible and expressive. Before starting these exercises, you should take a good, long look at yourself in the mirror to decide which exercises you should focus on personally. If, for example, you are by nature a frowner, then do not bother with the frowning exercise. Instead, focus on smiling or winking, for example. Here are 4 extremely easy and painless facial exercises that you can start putting into practice right now. Smiling. To paraphrase a line from Casablanca, you know how to smile, don't ya? If not, here is how you do so to gain maximum exercise benefit from smiling. With your head in an upright but relaxed pose, clench your cheeks upwards while drawing your lips wide over your teeth at the same time. Hold the position for a few seconds, then relax and repeat the process. Do this 15 to 20 times per session, and try to do it at least once every day. Try smiling at other people more often as well. You might be surprised how much better it makes you feel spiritually, and the responses that you get will more than likely justify making the small effort involved. 27 Frowning. In this exercise, you start with your head upright but relaxed, only this time you tense up the muscles in your forehead and draw your eyebrows down by doing so. Hold the resultant frown for a few seconds and then release, and do the exercise 15 to 20 times per session. This is an exercise that you should only do in moderation, as overusing these muscles by doing this exercise too regularly or often can lead to the development of unwanted facial lines and wrinkles. Winking. With your head in the, by now, traditional upright and relaxed position, turn your head slightly to one side so that one eye is pushed slightly forward. Close the more prominent eye, and hold it closed for a second or two. Open the eye again, and repeat the operation 15 to 20 times with the same eye. Then, turn your head the other way so that the opposite eye is to the fore, and repeat the whole process with that eye. Once again, you probably do not want to overdo this particular exercise, as doing so can lead to the formation or acceleration of the fine creases and wrinkles at the corners of the eyes that are commonly known as laughter lines. Also, I would recommend that this is an exercise that you do in a private place, because doing this in public or with people that you do not know around you might give them completely the wrong idea. Tongue pulling. This is an exercise that you should only do in private or with people that you know. While winking at strangers could get you a lot of unwanted attention, this one is far more likely to get you a smack in the face or a punch on the nose, so do be careful where and when you choose to practice this exercise. Start from the relaxed but upright head position and purse your lips slightly. Then, push your tongue out of your mouth, yes, exactly like you used to do when you were a kid, and then retract it. Assuming that you do not regularly go around pulling your tongue out at people, this is an action that the muscles at the back of your tongue will rarely undertake. While your tongue is used to moving up and down and from side to side inside your mouth while you are eating or talking, this, pushing back to front, is using the muscles in a way to which they are not accustomed. Repeat this exercise 15 to 20 times per session. Feet and leg exercises. If you have traveled on a long-distance flight in recent times, you will probably be aware that many of the major airlines are now showing Safety 28 videos that emphasize the importance of moving your feet and legs during the flight. This is to counteract the increased risk of suffering a deep vein thrombosis that spending several hours in a pressurized cabin can bring on. In a similar manner, more and more people spend the vast majority of their working day sitting down, and they are therefore not using their legs as much as they should be doing. They will sometimes visit the restroom and perhaps walk outside the office to grab some lunch, so they are not totally idle, but they are almost certainly not using the muscles in their legs and lower back as much as they should. Just like the videos that you see on the planes, I am going to show you several ways that you can make your muscles work even while sitting down. Crossing legs. This exercise is exactly what it sounds like it would be, but just like the safety videos on the plane suggest, even moving your legs and feet around while sitting down can stimulate blood flow and muscle activity in your legs. So, it is simply a question of sitting down in your chair, relaxing and then crossing one leg up and over the top of the other. Hold that final position for less than a second. In this case, it is the action and movement that is important, not the final position, and then unwind back to the original relaxed position. Do the same thing 15 to 20 times and then repeat the actions for the other leg. Swinging. This exercise is almost an extension of the crossing motion that we used in the last one. After the legs have been crossed, you should swing the foot that is on top forwards and then backwards again in a pendulum-like motion. This makes the muscles at the back of your legs contract and expand in the effort to elevate your foot, and this stimulates the muscles and increases the blood flow in your legs. As always, repeat 15 to 20 times for each leg, and do try not to do this in an environment where you might risk kicking others while taking your exercise. The swivel. This one is easy, but effective for keeping your calves and ankles, in particular, in good shape. It can also be done sitting in your chair or on the floor at home, with your legs stretched straight out in front of you. All you need to do is swivel your feet at the ankles so that the toes of both feet point at each other, and then swivel back again so that your heels do the same. Repeat this as many times as you like, at least 20-29 would be good, and use this exercise whenever you have been seated for long periods as a means of refreshing your legs. Tip, tap. Even the simple act of tapping your toes on the ground will keep your feet, ankles and lower legs active and ensure that your muscles are stimulated so that the blood flow in your lower legs is encouraged. Whether you are wearing shoes in the office or sat at home barefooted, simply lift the toes of your left foot off the ground and tap them back down again 2 or 3 times. Rest for a moment. You shouldn't need long, as this is hardly strenuous, and then repeat. Do this 15 to 20 times with the same foot, and then repeat the exercise with the opposite foot. This is an exercise that is best done to music. Back and buttock exercises. Shift and lift. This is an exercise that you can do to strengthen the muscles of your lower back and buttocks, in particular, while sitting down. This is therefore something that you can do even while you are at work, although given the nature of the lifting element of the exercise, I would not really recommend that you do this while talking to others in your office, for example. It might make them think there is something wrong with you. Nevertheless, this is a great exercise for reducing any stiffness or soreness that might result from sitting in the same position for an extended period of time, and it strengthens those muscles too. While you are in your chair, relax and then clench the muscle in one buttock and hold for a couple of seconds, lifting slightly as you do so. Relax and then repeat. Do this 15 to 20 times for each buttock. Hip sway. This is great exercise to do if you are standing for any length of time, as it relieves the tension in your legs and stimulates the blood flow throughout the whole of your lower body. It also helps to avoid getting the pain in the lower back that afflicts some people if they are forced to stand for any length of time. While standing upright, let your right knee relax and soften, while at the same time pushing your left hip out to the side. Pull the hip back in again, and repeat the same action 15 to 20 times. After that, allow your left knee to bend and relax, and force your right hip out in the same manner. Lifting. Grab a bag, a supermarket plastic bag, or anything else that has suitable handles for lifting will do the trick. Put something of weight in the bag. Again, it is fairly irrelevant exactly what it is, as long as it weighs at least a few kilos. Water bottles are ideal for this, because you know that a liter bottle weighs almost exactly a kilo. Keeping your arms straight down by your side, bend at the knees until you can reach the bag on the floor and then lift it by straightening your knees up. Lift until your legs are once again straight, hold the lifted position for a few seconds, and then return the bag to the floor by bending at the knees once again. Repeat 15 times on the one side of your body, and then repeat on the opposite side. When done correctly, that is, by bending at the knees and not from your back, this exercise is excellent for strengthening the lower back, buttocks and hips, but as will also help to keep your arms and thighs in great shape. Give us a shrug. This is an exercise that not only helps keep your lower back strong, but is also an effective way of releasing the tension that can build up in your shoulders and neck. It will help to keep your arms and shoulder muscles toned and in trim at the same time. It can also be done in either a standing or a sitting position. Wherever you are, simply lift your shoulders up towards your ears in a classic shrugging motion, then lift your forearms up to a position where they are parallel to the floor and turn your palms outwards. Finally, tilt your head to one side, and twist your head slightly from the neck, then hold that final position for a few seconds. Return to the beginning and do the whole thing again, but this time, tilt your head to the opposite side before twisting. 31 Conclusion. Very few people are entirely unaware of the fact that exercise is good for them. The problem is that, for many people, even when they know this, the idea of having to join a gym and really putting themselves through the physical grinder in an effort to get themselves fit is totally unappealing. So, they chose to ignore that fact that their bodily condition is deteriorating and get on with their life in exactly the same way as they did before, unless some event comes along to make them change. The point that I hope you now appreciate after reading this book is that it is not necessary to wait until you have to start doing exercise before you take any action. There are literally dozens of opportunities to work some part of your body every day of your life, and all you need to do in order to start exercising is recognize these opportunities. Nor should exercise automatically equate with desperately hard work, drudgery and pain. As you have seen, simple activities such as walking and climbing stairs can be integrated into your daily life quickly and almost seamlessly, but the benefits of both of these activities can be enormous. The bottom line is, there really is no excuse not to start exercising right now, and everything that you need to know in order to do so is contained in this book. There is no better time to start taking regular exercise than this very second, so get your shoes on, go out for a nice long walk, and take the time to think about all of other ways that you are going to make exercise an integral part of your life from now on.